Hey. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ron, aka Ron the Artist, coming to you live. And welcome to Ron's Recap. I'm here today to recap and review the TV show Snowfall on FX, Season 5, Episode 8, titled Celebration. It definitely was a celebration for the books. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about it. Before we get into the meat of the episode, it appears that, Snowfall was renewed for season 6. And this season 6 will be its final season. And that's kind of bittersweet because I'm just now getting into the show and I like it. I like it. And I'm like, you've been going on for 5 seasons now. You just got renewed for 6, and you've been on since 2017. Through the pandemic and all, this show has lasted through a lot, and the viewers and the views and the ratings are still good on the show. Every time I get on Twitter while the show is on, it's trending like crazy, like number 1, number 2. So people are tuned in, people like it. So I don't know if it's just the show wasn't the same without John Singleton or what's the case may be, but the show was a good show, and I'm kind of sad to see it go. But I'll enjoy what remains. I just hope the farewell season, it better be amazing. And it better just blow everybody's socks off. Just a matter of how is it going to go? Where is it going to go? That season also needs to be more than 10 episodes. This is the final season, make it 15 episodes. FX, Snowfall. Whatever production is working on this, note this. If you're watching this, please make that final season at least 15 episodes. I think that'll be great for us, the viewers, the fans. Please. All right, so let's get into the episode. The episode was good. It was good and juicy, and it was comical, but at the same time, it got real serious. It was comical, real serious, dramatic, and just all over the place, but in a good way. It was layer after layer after layer, but it was real comedy as well. It wasn't excuse me, it wasn't bad all over the place and just stiff and stern and dramatic as the show typically is, but it was a different light with this in this episode. All right, so let's dive into it. The episode started off with the meetup with Louie, Teddy, and Gustavo, aka Loso, as Franklin calls him. Louie is wanting to. They met in a parking garage. Basically, Louie is no longer wanting to do business through Franklin. She wants to go straight to the source with it, which is straight to Teddy, aka Reed. And Franklin didn't know about this decision at all. She showed up by herself. And honestly, I can't blame her, because clearly some changes need to be made, and Franklin is becoming reckless with business and just kind of not so clean with it. It's getting a little sloppy. He's trying to hold it together, but it's getting a little sloppy. His moves and decisions around his business is getting sloppy. So ultimately, I can't blame her for wanting to, step away from Franklin with her business. She did what she had to do for herself at this point, but at the same time, she's low-key betraying Franklin, going behind his back to deal with Teddy and Reed. Teddy, Reed, Thomas, whoever. And that could be an issue. It will be an issue, I'm sure. So the next scene was of Sissy meeting Ruben in a park to discuss business. That man, it is just something about that man that I do not trust. And he is so adamant about her getting information on Franklin, or giving him information on Franklin, which impersonal information. And I don't know why, because Franklin does not have anything to do with the request that she wants to be made. As he claimed, it'll protect Franklin. But Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. So she's meeting with him in the park. She's refusing to give him the recordings / access to Franklin's business as he requested in exchange for Teddy's head on a platter. I think that's probably best. But Ruben let it be known that without that info, he can't help her. She then informs him of Jerome and Louis' upcoming wedding, and he wants to know everything about this event. And again, I just still don't think the man can be trusted. I don't think the man can be trusted at all. You want to know everything about the event, and spoiler alert, he was at the actual event, disguised. But we'll get into that in a minute. So the next scene was of Kane. Kane at a bar with his peoples. Probably a bar that he owns or got connections to. Apparently a female came unannounced to talk. The female just had to be Veronique. When I seen that scene, I was like, girl, Veronique, why? Like, why would you do that? What? Like, you're walking into the lion's den. Why? Her ignorant self went to ask him about his motives. If she should stay clear of Franklin or go away with her mother. And let it be known that her mother was out east. Not only that, she also revealed to him that she was pregnant. She revealed her card to him, her most sacred card, her motherhood card. And that was not wise at all, in my opinion. That was not wise at all, in my opinion, because I'm like, girl, that was something you should not have done. It was one thing was showing up there. Okay. Even though I feel like that was dumb as well. But it was another layer of telling him that you're pregnant. Because now that's going to make you a target if anything changes. He assured her that he gave Leon his word and that she doesn't have anything to worry about. He said there was a truce. We kissed and made up. I'm sure you heard about it. But she was like, no. Are we really? And he assured her, that she got nothing to worry about. Franklin has nothing to worry about. But is that true, though? I kind of believe him, but it's some things in the air that we're going to talk about as well at the end. There's some things in the air. Some things in the air. The next scene was of Jerome and Louis having a little cute moment in her office at her club. They were catching up on details of the wedding as the countdown begins. Jerome seems to be excited about it all. Things are up for him at the moment. He hasn't had a drink in 3 days, and he said he hasn't lost his temper in 3 weeks. So he's in a good space, again, for the moment. Until Louis ruined the moment, was letting him know that she personally went to talk to Teddy today and went behind Franklin's back. And he's refusing to go to war / backstab his nephew. And he's like, as much as I got your back, I'm not going to go to war with my nephew. And she's like, well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. It won't get to that. It won't get to that. She assured him of that. And she ultimately feels like that this is the only way to secure their future. And I disagree with that. I really do. I feel like Jerome is really trying to get to a sense of peace, doing things that gives him inner peace and happiness. And if she followed his lead for a second, I feel like that might lead to something much greater. The end goal and the war and the reward might be much greater than the crime and the misery and the route that she's trying to take. At some point, Louis got to let Jerome lead them out of this life versus her leading them further into it when he's telling her and showing her the effect that it has on his mental. He's telling her and showing her the effect it has on his mental health, on his mental in general. And here she go, pulling him back in, or at least getting herself further in, which then pulls him in. And it's just like, enough is enough, Louis. Like, to my knowledge, they got a lot of money already. Got a lot of money off their business. Millions. They're rich. They can bow out right now and just call it quits. But instead, Louis wants more. When Jerome is pleading that he seeks more peace and it's needed for him and his inner peace. And oh my God, that is just bad. So next up, the actual wedding. The scene started with them on an aisle, and almost everyone that's supposed to be there was there. But there was a spy van out there, a surveillance van, listening, spying on the van, spying from the van. And I'm just like, But ultimately, people generally seem happy for them. But this wouldn't be a good Snowfall episode if it didn't have some moments, if everything went by smoothly and it was all just peaches and gravy, peaches and cream, and just gravy on the mashed potato. I couldn't get that out, y'all. I couldn't get that out. But anyways, as a crazy Scully projects guy with the deceased daughter, he was at the wedding. I don't even know why they invited him at the wedding. But I guess they're doing business with him, so he's an ally. But he was at the wedding, and he came up with this brilliant idea to taint the chocolate fountain. The chocolate that was dripping from the fountain. Meanwhile, the entire wedding is being watched by the feds, or heard or spied on by the feds. And I'm just like, this is too much, this is too much, this is too much. So as the chocolate-covered strawberries went around the party, along with drinks, Franklin ended up taking a plate full of the chocolates. See, this is why everybody cannot be invited to your wedding. Everyone cannot be invited to intimate functions, business, allies or not. Because not everybody is happy for you or happy to see it. They're not happy to see it, they're not happy for you, and they don't have good and happy intentions toward you and the people that are at this wedding or at the function. People just can't be trusted. Like, they can't be trusted. So after taking the chocolates, eating some, Franklin made his way over to Veronique to see where her head was at. Regarding them, as a couple. She's still in the favor of them as a couple. But she just wants distance between them. She requires distance, and as she should. For her and the baby's sake. That's it, that's all. As the convo wrapped up, Franklin ate more of the chocolate-covered strawberries. Diving into them. And they looked good, too. They looked good. But they were not good. They clearly were not good. Because before you know it, whatever was in that chocolate started to kick in, making Franklin a little woozy. Making him woozy and just feel a little off. Then the next moment, Wanda came up. She came up to him, caught him in that moment, to catch up and just chat. And he ended up giving her promotion to managing properties, as she's been doing well with handling the property so far with, with like maintenance stuff. So the convo ended with him, going to go fetch more to eat. And I'm just like, Franklin, bro, you just don't know what you done got yourself into. So before you know it, Franklin started hallucinating and shit, seeing stuff that wasn't there. Like, saw something run across the table as he was about to sit with his mom to eat, and I'm just like, oh, no. This man got to looking underneath the tablecloth to see something. Hallucinating. Cuckoo. Folks were high as a kite at this party due to Scully's funny madness. As Franklin went As Franklin went off to look at, at trees and sit in nature randomly, Scully came to pay him a visit and drop a few words on him as he observed Franklin's highness. Weird as hell. Scully eventually left after dropping the words on him like, oh, tell your peoples that I said enjoy the wedding gift, da 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 da. And I'm just like, dude, you could have kept that. Like, why was that the first thing to come out of this man's mind was to taint chocolate at a wedding function? You lace it with drugs. People do crazy stuff again. That's why you cannot be having everybody at your wedding. You cannot have everybody at your wedding. I know you want a lot of people at your wedding, but it can't be. When I get married, I'm going to have a small wedding. The reception can be whatever, but the wedding is going to be small. It's going to be small, and not many people are going to have, they're not going to witness that moment. And the reception could be whatever, but that might, considering thinking about this situation, that reception is going to be invite only as well. And I got to vet people for that because this crap is crazy. Crazy. So again, the highness started to really kick in amongst the party at that point. With Franklin losing his damn mind at this point, just all over the place because he probably done ate the most strawberries out of everybody and dug into the strawberries. You know, ultimately running to the bathroom to pee every second to the point where he got a visit from Rob in this illusion. Rob let him know about his decisions and how his decision affected him and killing him and fought him for his decisions. Rob eventually shot him in that illusion. Like, no, it didn't. You didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt when you killed me, but this is gonna hurt when I shoot and kill you. And Franklin fell to the ground, hallucinating like hell. So back to the party. While Franklin in the bathroom hallucinating, the party outside is still going, of course. I guess Sissy got a piece of the highness as well. LSD is what Scully put in that doggone chocolate. It was her and Jerome made sense of it. LSD is what it was. It appeared to be. When Sissy caught wind of that, she then went to go find Franklin as he was still passed out in the bathroom for that supposed shooting from Rob. Once she found him, she was able to snap him out of it for a second. Didn't last long after telling him a piece of her mind about putting money and white people above his loved ones. And he shouted at her, scaring her off. Like, that was a moment too. Like, that scene was real dramatic and just like, in a good way. In a good way. It was, that scene needed to be like nominated for something. That conversation. So meanwhile, everyone at the party is having a good time. You know, too good of a time. High as I don't know what. From Javi to Gustavo, dancing and prancing all over the party. When Sissy ran from Franklin, she made her way back outside to confront Ruben, again, who was disguised as a server at this reception. He was the one serving drinks. She believes he played a part in spiking the party's drinks. And it was very possible. He didn't, but at that moment, I'm like, I wouldn't put it past him because he could be very much the reason why the feds are outside in that surveillance van. I'm just saying. So, on top of her telling him to leave, her family alone, and to get lost, pretty much that's what she was saying. Like, she approached him, got a little aggressive with him, and told him to leave her family alone and get lost. And he played it off. He played it off and left, you know, in his server position. Franklin was still left in the bathroom. Still in the bathroom where Veronique came back to the party to visit him. So. She left, you know. If I didn't say that already, she ended up leaving the party when he spoke to her earlier in that conversation because sickness, you know, pregnant sickness and stuff like that. She didn't take a piece of the chocolate, none of that. So she came back apparently. You know, but this was a more pregnant Veronique. Her stomach was all the way out there. Telling him that they were to betray him. They were eventually to betray him, and he needs to surrender the gangster life, the gangster/killer life, because you can't be a family man and a gangster, and that was valid. It was valid. It was valid. That struck him, but ultimately, this was just an illusion. The competition was just an illusion, and she wasn't there. And that moment pushed him to spiral out of control emotionally even more. Because at that point, he's feeling like, is it true? Is everybody going to betray me? Are these people only going to betray me? Like, what is going on? Like, he needs to make a decision. He needs to make a decision. All this hallucination that's going on is like really doing something for him. So the next scene was of Jerome and Louie taking a walk into a field of their reception party, where I saw a random couple in the background having sex, screwing like nobody's business out in the wide open, and all up in doggy style. Like, I was like, what? And then they in the scene walking past from a distance, like walking past, while these folks is getting it out like I don't know what. That LSD got that party on fire. Literally on fire. Meanwhile, Louie and Jerome were having a strange random moment of expressing their love for one another. Well, the moment wasn't strange, but they were speaking over each other at the same time, like both expressing themselves to each other and why they love each other and how they love each other at the same time, like over one another. And I was just like, okay. The highness is kicking in with them too, apparently. You know, Javi and Leon, I guess they ventured off to like land out on the sunset or something. They were having a conversation about conquering the U.S., traveling and taking over the police, etc., etc. Yeah. Leon was really considering advice and considering, traveling, and he really took in what Javi told him. So as Franklin is still on his high journey, I guess it inspired a real conversation with Teddy/Reed. I'm assuming he started to come down at this point. The Heine started to come down because he ended up personally calling up Teddy/Reed, where he let him know that Reed wants to kill him. But before he does that, he's going to kill him first. In spite of everything he's done for Franklin. He's like, he started it off, the conversation like, I like you. But I know eventually this relationship has to end. You're going to kill me. But before you do that, I'm going to kill you because I'm not going anywhere. Teddy ended up hanging up the call on him. As Teddy/Reed walks back to his car after the payphone convo, he walks back to the car to his now Latin girlfriend or whatever the case may be. He tells her what Franklin said on top of giving the idea to do something to Franklin's home. That woman is weird. He tells her what Franklin said, and she's like, okay, so what are you going to do about it? And she said, well, you know that Franklin is at home right now, so what are you going to do about it? And that woman is weird in trouble. Weird in trouble. So the next scene. Later that night, people are still high and kind of coming down from it. People are coming down from it. As Wanda is walking around the party, making sure everyone is okay, she was approached by Leon, who made the decision to leave the country and wanting her to go with him, which she wasn't so receptive to that idea. She was not receptive to the idea at all. He made that decision, like, okay, it's official. I want to step away from the game, but he's ready to travel the world and do research on what he needs to do research on and to conquer. And he wanted her to go with him. That moment, that let me know that he's feeling her in a way, I guess. He's feeling her in a way. He is feeling her. So, as Franklin's still in this delusional space, he gets a visit from himself this time. A different version of himself. Having a real convo about himself to himself. And about the reality and consequences of his actions. Giving a major reality check to himself. All I remember from, well, I'm not going to say all I remember, but I remember him saying, bodies, bodies, bodies. His other self said that to him, and that scene was, it was blue lights and all, and it was a dope scene, actually. All I can, like, vaguely do is, like, just vaguely talk to you about it, but you'd have to watch it to really understand and know, like, the depths of how that conversation went. Again, having a real conversation about himself to himself and the reality and consequences of his actions. How many of us do that? So, basically, in a way, these folks being hard, this LSD helped them all in a way. In a big way. You know, it made them all realize what they truly deserve out of life, what they truly deserve and desire. Leon just feels like he needs to travel the world so he can get this different perspectives of life and actually research how to take care of his people. Franklin got to, you know, reality check of the consequences of the life he's living, killing people that he loves, like keeping these people bound, and if they're not really doing much for him, they gotta go, or if they're not really being under his control, they gotta go. And this mentality has really like put whites over his own family, as his mama brought to him his attention. So yeah, it made Louis and Jerome really, you know, even though they already know what it is, but it made them have a real conversation. Sissy came to the realization that she want that man Ruben out of her life and to leave her family alone. But it might be too late. It might be too late. So as everyone is coming down from the high, real conversations are happening. Franklin finally admitting and understanding Leon's decision of wanting out of the game and having a dance with his Aunt Louie about. He's having a dance with his Aunt Louie as he admits he should have made her a partner versus a worker. And that's when she informs him that she's going on her own way, now leaving him speechless. She's going on her own way, but she did not tell him about Teddy's way. And she doesn't know that he just gave a call to Teddy about killing him, wanting to kill him. So, while all of this is happening, Teddy is currently in Franklin's home, photographing documents of the sort. Photographing important documents of Franklin's, I'm assuming. Meanwhile, having a weird convo over a walkie-talkie with that Latin chick over the phone about sex and having dinner. And at the same time, again, Buckley, the officer Buckley, is closing in on Kane during this moment. Track down Kane and his people and closing in on them. So that's three different things happening. So much happening at once. Buckley closing in on Kane. Franklin is in awe and just left stunned because Louis just told him that she's walking away. And freaking Teddy/Reed is currently in Franklin's home photographing important documents for Lord knows what. Frame them, whatever the case may be, blackmail, whatever. And just a lot. And the episode ended. I can't wait to see what happens next. I think we have 2 more episodes left before the season finale. This is episode 8. The season finale has got to be episode 10. And it's a lot happening. The preview showed that the killing that Buckley was supposed to do with Kane didn't go so well. There's an officer that Buckley had for backup is probably going to end up dead in response to that. And that's not going to look good for Louis. Louis should have not put that hit out on Kane. Because now that's going to backfire more than likely. And that's going to come back to bite Franklin somehow. Let alone Kane just agreed to have this truce with Franklin and Leon. All of that is about to go out the window. And again, poor Veronique. This girl done showed her cards. She should have held that pregnancy card close to her chest. Hell, he didn't even know who she was. She should have stayed away. Now she done revealed her cards to him, let alone who she was. And in the midst of Kane probably gonna put two and two together about Buckley coming to kill him. Things are not looking good. That season finale is probably going to be one for the freaking books, and I cannot wait. So that's all I got for you guys this week. Until next time, guys. This week it is. This vlog is a little late. You know, it's now Sunday night, Monday morning, or whatever. Episode airs Wednesday. I can't wait. I can't wait. So, yeah. If you're watching us with me right now, we're on Instagram Live. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, this is pre-recorded and taken from Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, comment on the video. If you're watching this on Instagram, same applies. Like, comment, share, follow me. Let's talk about the recap review. Let's talk about the episode. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this recap review? What are your thoughts? Let's talk about it. So again, I'll see you guys this week. Peace.